Welcome to your Cochrane right now. This is a weekly podcast all about the best town in the entire world, Cochrane, Alberta. My name's Eric Ruddle, joined as always by Lauren Meister. And Lauren, this didn't happen in Cochrane, but it seemed like the entire town got tickets for Country Thunder last weekend.
I mean, we did give away a lot of tickets here at Cochrane
Yeah,
now.
we did. Yes, we did.
And I felt like I ran into a ton of people that I knew and just a lot of winners as well at Country Thunder. It was such a great weekend. Well, the weather held out. Actually, it was raining at one point, but it was kind of a warm, like slow rain.
Nice.
So it wasn't like a downpour or anything, but it was such a fun weekend.
So you went Friday and Saturday.
Yes, Friday and Saturday. I didn't make it there on Sunday.
Yeah.
I couldn't do three
days. 3
days.
days is a little much.
I think I'm a little too old to do 3 days
But
straight.
you were also really brave because you took your kids.
I did. So my kids have been huge, super Aaron Goodvin fans forever.
This isn't a dig at Aaron Goodvin, but that's a very interesting artist to be a mega fan of.
Well, they love...
He's awesome.
I know.
But especially for young kids.
Yeah, they love Lonely Drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's been on our boat playlist for several years.
Okay.
And so the first time they ever heard that song, I think my daughter was 2 years old. And she just like grasped onto that song. And they want that song on repeat. It's kind of starting to fizzle out a little bit. Like it doesn't need to be on all of the time now. But I feel like for the solid like 3 years, it was like constant every time in the vehicle. Can we hear Lonely Drum? Can we hear Lonely Drum? And anyway, so I was like, this is their chance to see the guy who sings Lonely Drum. I need to take them to Country Thunder.
So he was there Saturday.
He was there on Saturday afternoon, which was amazing because in the middle of the day at Country Thunder, there's not as many people there. It's a lot more quiet. So I was like, this is the perfect time to take kids.
Bring the kids.
You don't have all of the huge crowds. You don't have the people who have had one too many beverages.
And kids get in free.
Kids get in free, which is a huge bonus. Anybody 10 and under.
Yeah, so next year, if you're thinking, oh, my kids would have loved it, but I don't want to shell out the ticket price for these little ears, they get them free.
I didn't realize
That's awesome.
that. I didn't realize that until I actually walked right up
showed
there.
up with your kids.
Yeah. So that was really a huge bonus. But
so Aaron Goodvin, Saturday. Your kids, biggest fans in the world.
Huge fans. So my daughter wanted to bring a sign.
Cute.
Because she had seen that other concerts, people always bring signs.
Yes.
And my son is also a big fan, but he's like... He didn't want to bring a sign.
Right, a little less like didn't want the spotlight.
Yeah, he doesn't want the spotlight. Because I said if you bring a sign, there's a chance that you're going to get Aaron's attention, and you never know. Crazy things have happened before. He might pull you up on the stage. I don't know. I didn't know for sure. And so my daughter just like, as soon as she heard that, she's like, oh yeah, like we're making a sign.
What? Yes.
We are making a sign. And I asked my son, I'm like, do you want to make a sign? And he's like, no. He's like, I don't even like Christmas concerts.
Yeah,
like I don't even like
you.
to be up on stage for that. So not a chance. Anyway.
What did the sign say?
It said, I'm your number one fan.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. So sure enough, song number one, she whipped out this sign and Aaron Goodvin, he caught a glimpse of it and he pointed right to her.
Yes.
And he was like, I love that. Because we were right on the ground there, right in the front. So he could see us. Anyway, it was fine. The whole concert, my kids had a blast. They were singing, they were dancing. And then it was the second last song. And he came back over. He looked right at my daughter and he's like, you. Come here.
No.
Yeah.
That's
it was
awesome.
so cool. So she walked right over. He picked her up. He pulled her to the side of the stage. He kind of gave her a hug and he sang her a few lyrics of the song, a couple lines.
Aww.
She didn't even know what to do. She knew the song, like the lyrics to the song, but she was frozen.
That's very terrifying, right? Like
totally.
As much as you're like, that'd be so cool for it to actually happen, and be pulled up in front of thousands and thousands of people.
I think I would freeze.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We know these songs by heart because we hear them all the time. But yeah, especially for a young lady like that. That's so awesome, though.
She was so pumped. He even signed her pink cowboy hat, so she was pumped about that. And huge moment. And she actually... I recycled the sign as soon as we got home because it got a little beat up and it was raining a little bit.
Mom.
But she just asked me about it yesterday and she's like, can we bring that sign the next time that we see him? And I was like, yeah.
So mom's breaking out the crayons, looking at photo number one.
We got to create this sign again.
Exactly.
But
do you think Cochrane could host a festival of like 3 days?
I think
like at the egg grounds?
Yes. Yes.
Because maybe they'll get kicked out of Calgary. I was seeing a story that they broke all kinds of noise bylaws and stuff on the Friday night. So we welcome you, Country Thunder Cochrane, right?
Why not? Yeah. We're all about the noise here. And especially if it was over at the Egg Grounds, you're far enough away from houses, like over at Fort Calgary.
Except for like Heritage and Heartland. Screw those guys.
Whatever. It's far enough away. The houses at Fort Calgary, like it was like right there. Those are high-rise buildings. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And we like to party here in Cochrane, so no one would be upset.
And everybody likes country music here in Cochrane. Like in the big city, maybe not everybody does.
They shut down at like 11 anyway. So it's not like it's going till 3 in the morning.
No, and it's not like you camp there. Like it's not like it's Craven where you're there 24/7.
Oh, yeah. Can you camp there? Was there tents?
No,
okay. No. So even better.
Exactly.
We can host it. We'll talk to Country Thunder, I'm sure, 2023.
We'll just move locations. Exactly. It's win-win.
Exactly. And here in Cochrane, it has been quite the week for car accidents. We've been seeing so much going on. Of course, what happened on the Big Hill and the 1A, a flag person was hit by somebody speeding down the hill, running from the police, and they were arrested. The flag person is okay.
Yeah.
But just yesterday, I'm sitting here in the studio. We're right on railway, and I hear like, woo, 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 woo. And I think, okay, they're going up the Big Hill, right? Mm-hmm. And usually I'm doing a show. I can't chase them down. They're heading out of town. But I hear them, and they turn that way.
Yeah.
And I go, oh.
Why there?
Why there? There's not much going on. So I just stepped out, and there was 3 fire trucks, so much EMS. I actually ran. I ran because I had like 2 songs in between breaks. And in the world of radio, like that's how it works, right?
When you have 2 songs, like that's your bathroom break.
That's your bathroom break. That's the time you fill your mouth with something to eat. And I ran over there, and there was actually a car flipped over at that nasty intersection that everybody loves because it is only a 2-way stop and all that stuff. But this red car was completely on its side.
I couldn't believe, because so I first noticed on social media people saying that there was a major crash at that intersection. So instantly I was like, oh, I need to get a hold of you. And you picked up the phone, you were out of breath. I was like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I just got back to the station.
You're such a good journalist, Lauren. But everybody seems okay with that. Even my buddy posted on social media that his dad was one of the people who helped them out of the vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
How fast are you going, or how did this crash happen to get a vehicle to flip over in town? Like that's always my question.
Yeah, like it was on the curb of the car wash corral. And I saw the police were interviewing people who were just sitting at the venue, just having lunch, right? Like probably people watching being like, that's a bad driver, that's a bad driver. And this happened. So.
I mean, to be fair, you got to think like there's always a lot of people lined up for that car wash. So maybe there's a little bit of competition going on who's trying to get into that lineup.
And it's always slightly confusing when you go to that intersection and you're like, okay, so you're going straight, I'm turning, so you've got the right of way, right? And you got to think it out. Probably make it into a 4-way stop, solve a lot of problems, but cause a lot of slowdowns.
Yes.
Just need more overpasses over the tracks.
I thought we were working on an underpass under the tracks. Just
right
next to us
So
here.
Country Thunder, then the underpass.
Yeah, or the underpass first. I don't know.
Okay.
Either or.
And then maybe next year's Pride Parade can go under and over the tracks because that went down yesterday in Cochrane. It's Pride Week. This week, there's a lot of different events going on. And the first annual Pride Parade went down. We got to swing over. We got to see it. It was really cool seeing quite the turnout for Wednesday at 1 p.m.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. So, of course, a lot of people had to work, right? It's the middle of the work week. And this was the time that worked for the organizers. And but no, quite a crowd, actually. Yes. There was a lot of people there. And it was a great way to really celebrate inclusivity here in town.
Yes, exactly.
So it was nice
Lots
to see.
of rainbows. It was probably the fastest parade I've seen. You know, my kids were down there watching it with mom there. And they're like, oh, that was fast. But maybe we need more mini parades, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a teaser for Labor Day parade coming up.
Yeah.
And we got something fun planned for that too. But we'll keep with that because this weekend is the outhouse races.
Yes.
And they're back. I know they tried to do them last year, but it was still pretty COVID-y out there. And they just decided
and then it was a no-go. But this is happening this year. Like it's officially official.
Yes. And we have tried to think of a way of how to get in. None of us are very handy. None of us know how to build an outhouse. And I got to give a huge shout out to Cochrane Toyota because we reached out and we're like, do you guys rent outhouses?
Like, we want to be in the outhouse races,
but we can't build one.
We don't have an outhouse. And Ryan Baum, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Yeah, he's like, if you guys register, we will have an outhouse waiting for you at the outhouse races.
So Sunday, Cochrane now will be there. We will not have practiced. I don't know what this outhouse will look like.
Nope.
Candace Davies will be the rider.
Yep.
I don't know if it was really her decision or maybe she just drew the short straw, but we will have bubble wrap for her.
Yeah, well, and a helmet.
And a helmet, of course, because there's quite a few safety rules in place now ever since that other incident. But keep an eye out for us. And I really think this year, hopefully, is just a raging party down there, right?
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it.
The years past, the crowds down there are so happy and everybody's cheering everybody on, and the races are just such goofy fun. And one of the best parts of Cochrane, because anyone outside of it, right? Oh, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, outhouse races. And they are so confused, and it's just so awesome.
We need to figure out our strategy, though, because we're in it to win it, right? Like, we need to figure out, like, how...
Are we? Have you seen, like, in years past, Cochrane Toyota, they're awesome, but they also bring in high school football students to run.
We're just as in shape as those high school football students.
There's firefighters.
We both have a Peloton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't look at how many times we've ridden it. I'm hoping we could win. I'm sure it's going to be
Depends
good.
what category we're going for.
Yeah, maybe just the most goofy.
Yeah,
best dressed, which we still need to figure out. So that is going down this weekend. It's going to be a ton of fun in historic downtown Cochrane. And if you see us, wave at us as we're out of breath and probably puking off the side of the road.
Can't wait for this
thing going on in Cochrane right now. You can grab this podcast on all your favorite podcast services and also watch on YouTube. And we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah.